Hello.
Hi. Okay.
I'm still waiting for them. Hello, everybody who's joining us this afternoon. Let's see. We're still waiting for people. Who's gonna join us? One person is here. Who is it? I'm always so excited. Godwin, how are you? Shalom, Godwin. Good afternoon. It's afternoon here in Kyiv, Ukraine. I'm not sure what time it is where you are, Godwin, but welcome. Good afternoon from Ukraine. Good afternoon. Who's going to join us? This is our second interview of the day, and I'm really excited because I know that a lot of you don't even know the name of the person that I've put on the title. You don't know the person. So that makes me excited because you don't know, and you need to know only by staying. Hello, Toyi. How are you? I hope you're okay. Emmanuel, good afternoon. It may be morning where you are, so I would also say good morning. It may be evening, so I would also say good evening. So, guys, how are you? You know what to do. As you come in, guys, let's do the honors and share. Please share. So share as you're coming in, because I know this is morning for most people, even though it's just noon here. And also, nobody will be expecting a notification, so they may not look at their phone, or they may be out at work already. So share on your page and invite people. And even if they're at work, they can't join us now. At least they can see this video later and watch it. Okay? So let's do the honors and share, and invite. Ele Adebonojo, good morning or afternoon. Here is afternoon here. Hello, Emmanuel. Hello, Jake. Thank you, Jake. You're joining us again. I'm really excited. It's really exciting when I see somebody that was with us before and they're back. It just feels so great. So, Jake, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And other people that I haven't recognized that they're joining us again, thank you for joining us. So, without further ado, let me introduce you to our guest. Really not our guest, it's actually our family, DSA family. He's here in Ukraine, so I'm just going to turn the camera so that you can see who it is, even though you can't place a face to the name. I don't think you will be able to, but you can now. So I'm going to do the honors. Hello, Stella. Yes, it's me again, Elizabeth. Welcome. So, without further ado, here we go.
Hello everyone.
Okay. So guys, do you recognize the face? I don't think so. I don't think so. But you will know by the end of this interview, you will know as much as possible about our guest today. Okay? So let me turn my camera. The question is today, sir, please tell us your name and a little bit about yourself.
My name is Temi Longe, and I'm an African. I come from Nigeria originally. I've been living in the UK for the past 15 years. And yeah, that's my background. And personally, I'm into IT. I'm an expert in software testing and, web building. So that's what I do, as a career. And I'm also into marketing. I also do a bit of entrepreneurship, making money from various investments. So that's, in a summary, what I do basically. So I'm very passionate about traveling, traveling to different countries, meeting people, getting to know people, and learning cultures. And yeah, that's my passion. That's what I love to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, that's a brief introduction about Temi, I believe. Or should I call you Honorable Temi?
Yes.
Because that's his name on Facebook. It says Honorable Temi. But I think probably we'll stick to it. We will change. You know me. I go from doctor to pastor. So I'm going to go from Honorable to just Temi. So here today, it's also nice to have you. And thank you for accepting to do this. This, I know that you're one of DSA family, but a very quiet one. And I think there are many people that are like you that are quiet. So I just want you to tell us a little bit more about yourself,
Okay.
so that other people will know you.
Okay.
And you can also do that by extending that introduction to, how long you've been DSA family, how you first encountered DSA, and how and when.
Okay, perfect. I only knew about Dr. Sunday Adelaja about 12 years ago when I actually went to the UK. I was then about 22 years when I got to the UK, and then it was a very difficult time for me because leaving my families and going to a new land and being alone in the UK. So that was a very difficult time for me. So basically, then I stumbled on Pastor Adelaja. I read his biography and his story, and I got really captivated by that story. And actually, I told myself one day that I would actually, fellowship in his church and actually be with him. I told myself that. So that was when I knew about, I heard about him. And then about 2 years ago or last year, I stumbled on his messages on Facebook, and I began to follow him steadfastly and follow his messages. And funny enough, before I began to follow Pastor Sunday Adelaja's message, I went through some difficult times in my life, whereby I left my job, I left my career, and that was the best thing I ever did to myself. Then I began to discover myself, read a lot of books, read a lot of things to discover myself. And I got, then I stumbled across the message of the kingdom of God, and that changed my life. Then when I stumbled on Pastor Sunday's stories again, that was a confirmation that okay, I'm learning the right thing, and I'm in the right path. So these are the kind of this is my story with Pastor Sunday Adelaja. So personally myself, so basically I'm also like I'm a committed DSA member right now. I'm looking into helping DSA in whatever way, capacity, even if it's a little contribution. That would really I would really be glad to make a contribution to DSA personally, and I would also be glad to share DSA to maybe UK, Nigeria, and all other parts of the world. I would really be glad to contribute something to DSA. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. Thank you. This I want to know more because you've mentioned DSA teachings that it changed your life. I want to know in what way.
Okay.
And I think everyone else would do as well. Okay. So the way this interview we are going to do is like we want details. We want details of how things have changed your life, what happened before. You said you went through some difficult times. I think other people would like to know because the reason I'm asking this is not just to pry, even though I'm very nosy. I want to know. But the main reason is so that if there's somebody out there that is going through the same thing, they would hear this and feel hopeful and know that there's hope.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you can share, if within reason, obviously, if you can share what the issues were and also especially how your life has changed, that would be great.
Perfect. My life has changed in the sense that I would actually take it into categories. In the relationship side, Pastor Adelaja actually mentioned a story about he gave a message or tutorials of how a man should treat a lady and how a lady should treat a man. So that teaching actually required me to understand that ladies actually, everything is actually together. Whatever they say is actually evolved to to everything about a man when in a relationship with a man. So I used to divide things when I'm in a relationship with a lady. And then once I come in contact with Pastor Adelaja's message, I was able to understand that it is not this way any longer. So I was able to rewire my my understanding that I used to have. Then I began to to treat a woman better and to understand more about them and to respect them. So that's the relationship side. My life changed in that sense. On the financial side, I really wanted to to make money, and but I was struggling. I didn't know what was the problem. Things were not right. I was giving in church, and I was still not. I was an entrepreneur, but I was just like in a place. I was not moving. But when I encountered Dr. Sunday Adelaja's teaching, I understood that I was actually looking at money in the wrong way, and basically the first thing I needed to do was not to spend, was actually to invest. The very first thing I needed to do was actually to put it into something, and not to actually spend it on something. So I understood it. I got a good definition on money. So my life really changed regarding to that. And actually, most of his messages, some of the things they say is, I've never had it in my life. In my life, nobody has told me when it comes to finances, when it comes to relationship. I've never had it. In fact, I'm a kind of person, I can search a lot of YouTube videos online for different motivators. I know quite the best on YouTube, and I know the best videos on motivation. But when Dr. Sunday Adelaja teaches, it's like it actually goes into me. It doesn't go into my ears, it goes into my heart directly. So I was able to, to kind of rewire myself from his messages. So that's financial side of things. So on the other side, I see him like, as a very good mentor that I can have. If when I'm around him, the way he talks to me, it's like it's my father. Personally, that's how I feel. Because when I was growing up, I really did not have a close relationship with my father. So basically, I don't really understand how a father could talk personally to one. I've not really experienced that much, except from my mother. So looking at somebody talking directly and showing trust directly in the way he allows one to speak, when I come in contact with him, maybe personally, or even on YouTube, or while watching him, it's like he's speaking directly to me. So that my life has changed in that area as well, because I'm able to see that actually people can really treat me personal. A man can treat me personal as well, just like a lady. So my life has changed in that kind of fatherly relationship.
Okay.
That's it.
You said quite a lot, and they were all they were life changing.
Okay.
The relationship that you mentioning about relationship and relationship with other people, how that have changed you. The teaching on how a man should treat a woman, that changed your life. I think other people need to hear this and know that there are teachings out there that Dr. Sunday have already put there. They're on YouTube, which is Sunday Adelaja Official. And you can also go on his blog, which is sundayadelajablog.com. You will find all his teachings and playlists on there. So please go and get those teachings and let it help you to develop yourself to a better person. Because what I'm hearing right here from Temi is that the teaching it's not just hearing it, it went into his heart. In his own words, he said, when I hear him, what the teaching and how he's teaching, it goes into my heart. And furthermore, that he's speaking to me. I've never, ever heard what he's saying. Am I correct? Or did I hear? I've never heard what I'm hearing from Dr. Sunday. I've never heard it before. So that is significant because, to say that, it's a grown man saying that I've never heard this before. And to further that it goes into my heart. I think it's worth checking out. So if you're out there, you haven't heard of Dr. Sunday, or you haven't heard his teaching, again, Dr. Sunday is always saying that it's not about him. So let me repeat that. If you haven't heard or listened or watched his teachings, I think this is a great cue for a young man. I don't know how it is, but from a young man, I would say that he's saying that this is changing his life, relationship with people, even relationship as a father, because it mentioned that relationship with Dr. Sunday as a father, even though his relationship with his father is not something that he knew very well, but the relationship with Dr. Sunday really resonated well with him. So from YouTube, not even meeting him personally at this point, but from YouTube. So guys, it's just an encouragement. Please go ahead and go on YouTube, check out his teachings. It might do something for you. I know some of you already that you're here already. You're already sold. You don't need to be sold. And we're not trying to sell anything. This is just so that we can all develop and be liberated, not to be stuck, to be the best that we can be, and to fulfill our own purpose individually. The reasons God created us, or the particular reason that God created you. So that's the key here. Okay, I also want to know something. I want to know how your first encounter with Dr. Sunday was, your first physical encounter. Is this your first physical encounter, or you've had many in the past?
My first physical encounter with him was just a few days ago. So this is my first physical encounter with him. And that was in his church, basically. And when I came out on the platform to talk about my story, to talk about my testimony. So I felt very, very, receptive, like somebody giving me a platform to express myself and to talk more about myself. And so I resonate well with that. So it's been a fatherly kind of, reception, meeting him personally. That's just the word I would say. It's been a fatherly reception. Yeah.
Okay.
I would say, like, he actually believes in people. I would really encourage people to actually come for the HMT training that we normally have, because I've really tried a lot of things in my life, but sometimes I try too hard, but because I didn't have enough belief in myself at the first point, then I always come back again and try again. So I'm talking about, in my business, or maybe even in my relationship as well. So, but it's good to actually have somebody that actually believes in one. That okay, that that okay, in life maybe you're not struggling on your own. You have people around you, that can motivate you. Somebody that can speak into your life personally, So basically, that's this is my impression about meeting Pastor Adelaja for the first time.
Okay. I'm going to ask more questions about this impression, because you're saying it like, okay, I met him, he believes in me, he gave me a platform to talk when I came into the church. I want to know, and I think others would like to know as well, exactly what happened. This is your first time of meeting him physically, and it happened. I understand because I was there, so, but I don't want to be the one to explain it. Okay. It happened when you went to church, you met him for the first time in the church service, and you came out to give a testimony about him, and you got which type of reception. So I think that we would like the detail, exactly what happened.
Okay. Perfect. I was in the church basically when Pastor Adelaja was celebrating his 50th birthday. And it was a very nice day. I got into the church, and the settings were basically okay, like like a dinner setting, and so that was awesome when I walked into the church, and everybody were looking nice and enjoying themselves, and some people were giving testimony on the platforms. The program was already going on, so I got to sit down and see what was going on. I had some food, and then later on it was my turn to actually follow the DSA family to the platform and talk about as a family what DSA how DSA has impacted our lives. So then Pastor Adelaja actually encouraged everyone to speak. Dr. Sunday Adelaja almost encourages everyone just to talk about something, just to talk. You understand? And I like that. That is awesome. Because that's beautiful, because it shows it gives confidence, it shows esteem, and so then I was not really ready to talk about DSA or anything. Then later I just volunteered to talk, and then doctor was actually listening attentively as well while I was talking, and then I said okay. That I've been, I told my story. I've known Dr. Sunday Adelaja for like, 12 years, And when I heard about him, I really, really wanted to see him. And the most important thing is that I wanted to be like him. I wanted to, like, be the best in whatever I do, And so that was I was thinking about 12 years ago. So being able to talk to him directly, it's like it is very. I'm being able to give a testimony in front of him was awesome. I really enjoyed that, and so basically, I was able to fulfill my long dream, of meeting Dr. Sunday Adelaja, which is a beautiful thing. So all in all, I would take from me that we should all be ready to give our best in whatever endeavors we find ourselves, because giving our best would actually get our peak to wherever we want to get to. There is no failure in life. There's no failure in life. We only go through challenges sometimes, that actually, and at the end, we would actually attain whatever we want to get to. So it was a beautiful thing, actually, fellowship in Embassy of God Church. It was really, really beautiful, and I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Okay. Right. You said about meeting him. What did he say to you? Okay. I know that that it was a 3-day event. Mm-hmm. And from what you're saying, you came on the Sunday, which is day 3.
Correct, yes.
So you were not here on day 1 and day 2, but you made it for day 3. That was his actual birthday.
Correct.
So that's fantastic. I'm just kind of highlighting that.
Okay.
And you came straight to the church from the airport. How did it go? And I also want to know what he said to you, because he said you went on the stage.
Yes.
You came into the church and then you went on the stage after some times when DSA family were going to the stage to speak or give their own congratulatory message to Dr. Sunday. So was that it wasn't really a one-to-one meeting, it was almost like a crowd meeting.
Correct.
What did he say to you? Did he say anything to you? How do you know that he I know you said that he was very what was your word? Receptive. Yeah. So how do you know? Because you were on the stage and what says he was receptive?
I came in on the 3rd day, like she said, for the celebration. And I actually knew that Pastor Sunday was actually receptive, because I could see him actually listen to everyone speaking, listen to every word. Even if 2 people were speaking on the stage, actually, Dr. Sunday Adelaja was listening to both of them at the same time and, encouraging them what to say, how to act. He was giving feedback, right on the, right from where he was sitting. So I actually, basically, I was not looking directly into his face while I was talking. I was actually looking back, because sometimes I was a bit shy. But he told me to actually look into his eyes, because I was talking to him. So that felt personal. And so then I changed my language to, I was talking to him directly. Then I just appreciate that little act of kindness. When he told me to look to him directly. So that's how I felt. Like, he was actually receptive, and also, like, presently where we are in his home actually at this moment. Whenever he talks directly. He tells you that he has not seen you for a while, and he gives a feedback to everyone directly. So this way, I actually appreciate that kind of direct relationship he gives everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on from that, right? But what I want to know is that what was your first proper conversation with Dr. Sunday? So through this trip, what was your first conversation? Have you been having conversation with him prior to you being here for the first time, or? This is what was your first conversation, that first time that you spoke to him? Just pretty much like a date, when you're dating somebody and, you've been dating for so many years and somebody would say, how did you guys meet? I want to know that, how do you guys meet? How did you guys meet? That kind of scenario, yeah.
I actually went to meet Dr. Sunday. So then I actually went out to meet him. I sent him an email that okay, I would like to see him, regarding my business. I sent him an email, and I also attached a proof of my investment to him. Then I also talked about my life, how I have been very ambitious from a very young age, and I've traveled some countries, basically, and I've resigned my job to be an entrepreneur. I just sent the story. Basically, I wrote like a letter. I wrote a letter to Dr. Sunday. Then I said, okay, this is who I am. I come from this country. I'm currently in the UK. I would like to see him personally because I've always admired his attributes that I really want to see him. So that letter was a connection I had with Doctor. So then he replied back, that I could come for his 50th birthday celebration. So once I got a reply, then I said, okay, yeah, that's good. That I'm gonna travel down to Ukraine, which I did, and it's one of the best things I've done. So basically, I just reached out to him, and I just felt it's something I really needed to do, especially at this stage in my life, and I really needed to do that. So then I did that, and so I will encourage anyone just to write him a letter if you actually want to get in touch with him. You don't have to. You could call him on the phone, but I would suggest maybe just write him an email and talk about your experiences, and he can advise you from there if you need any experience. If you need any advice, just doing that alone can set you free. I mean, you just just put your burdens out and share your story out with somebody who you admire. So that's what I did, and then the first time I met him was actually in his house. When he was giving a lecture. Then he started to ask me where I'm from, what I do. Then I told him about myself. So that's been my touch, my personal connection with him. I reached out to him via email, and I came to his house to see him. So which is good.
Oh, okay. Clarity now, and I'm happy, and I hope you guys out there are getting more clarity, because this is really important. We've had different people here, especially within the last few days with these interviews, and a lot of the people that I interviewed first, they're already well-known DSA family, and Temi here is not somebody that I am even familiar with, even though I do a lot of the administrative things. I'm not with DSA family all over the world. So I wanted everyone else to know you and know who you are and how you connected with Dr. Sunday Adelaja. Because there will be somebody out there also that wants to connect with Dr. Sunday that feels like is out of reach. So here you're hearing Temi's story, and it's very simple. If you wrote an email. So let me recap on that. You just sent Dr. Sunday an email. We said for about 10 years now or so is actually his first knowledge of Dr. Sunday, and it's been his dream to meet him and engage with him. But sometimes last year he saw him on Facebook, and then he started following him, but silently. I think it's one of the silent.
What I love about Dr. when he came to Ukraine. And most people will actually come to a country and say, okay, let the country dictate to them how they should live their life. But he went against that. That was my connection with Doctor. He said he has to live his life the way he wants to live it, and he believed God. You understand? So basically, like the Russian Federation, we tell them, okay, don't preach, don't do that. But he did against it, and it's like, okay. So that was like, that determination is what I really loved about him, and that has been my secret admirer for years, and to be able to to meet him personally was awesome. Yeah.
Okay. He's been so Temi has been Dr. Sunday's secret admirer for years. Quote that. You know, a guy saying I'm your secret admirer. It sounds funny, but it's great. I understand what he means, and I'm sure that you guys do as well. So he's saying, emphasis is that he had connection with him, and the connection he had, if you listen to what Temi was saying earlier, was that he went from Nigeria to UK 12 years ago, and you know, he was feeling alone without his family, without people that, you know, he grew up with, going to another country. And I can see that connection now, because Dr. Sunday's story is also similar, where he left Nigeria to go to Belarus in Russia. And so I can see that connection. So that was the first instance of connection. But in the last year or so, he also encountered him on Facebook, started following him, following his teaching. The teaching resonated with him, especially not just in his mind, but in his heart. So it was something that really pierced his heart. He understood what he was saying. What Dr. Sunday was saying was actually helping him to develop, to grow in the areas, in many areas, but emphasis was on relationship area, and that really helped him. He understood, and he was living a happier life. He's also an entrepreneur, and he wanted Dr. Sunday to advise him, to help him, to give him the knowledge or insight that he might have. And so he followed up by writing him a letter, which is an email, telling Dr. Sunday that this is who I am, this is my life, I admire you, this is my my challenge, or this is my dream over the last few years. I've always been an entrepreneur from a very early age, and now I want to take it further because maybe there's been certain challenges. I want to take that further. This is my story, this is my business ideas, or whatever he wrote. I don't know, I don't see the letter, but this is from what he's saying. I'm just summarizing. And from there, Dr. Sunday said, yes, you're welcome to meet up with me. I'm having a birthday soon. My golden jubilee is so date. If you can, make it come. And he made it for the day that it was Dr. Sunday's birthday exactly, which is the 28th of May. And since then, his first encounter was on the stage. When he met, he didn't actually meet with him, but he was in the church. Dr. Sunday was there. Dr. Sunday identified that, you know, this is somebody new, because I was there. He said that, I wanted you to say that, but he identified that this is somebody new. I don't actually know you, but you're welcome. And also spoke to him on a personal level, that look at me when you're talking, be free to look at me. And that warms his heart. He likes that. And then later on, he's actually staying in Dr. Sunday's house right now. He's been here for a few days, and he's had many engagement, many times with him where we've sat down together. Some of you guys will know we sat down together in the evening, even in the daytime, where we've talked. He's actually talked to Dr. Sunday on a one-to-one as well. They've had discussion one-to-one. So he's had his dream fulfilled. But the thing is right now, guys, I want to tell anyone out there that wants to meet with Dr. Sunday, that feels like it's too far away, it's this great man, and I can't touch him, or he's not available to me. Dr. Sunday is somebody that is always available, is available to people. His definition of love is that you cannot love, love for God is that you cannot love God without loving people. There's actually a playlist on that topic. And somebody said earlier in the last interview that Dr. Sunday is the message and is the man. So message and man is one. So if he preaches something or he teaches something, is exactly that. It's not preaching it for all the masses to do, and he's not doing that. No, he's doing exactly what he teaches. What he says is taking his own words, literally. So you can reach him, already. And if you don't know, I will give you his email. His email is pastor@godembassy.org. I'll repeat, it's pastor@godembassy.org. And this is the access that Temi had. So Temi sent an email. That's all he did. And Dr. Sunday replied. And from there, here he is in Dr. Sunday's house. So if you're out there and you think, okay, I can't reach him, no, that's not true. Dr. Sunday don't actually have a phone, but he has Skype. And the Skype, actually, he doesn't even use it as such, okay? He likes communicating by email. So the best bet is just send him an email, okay? If he talks to somebody or by speaking, it's by Skype. He doesn't have a phone, and I know that he's told us this over and over again. So anyone that is out there, you want to get in touch, please write to him at pastor@godembassy.org. Pastor, PASTOR at God, GOD, Embassy, EMBASSY.org, ORG. Okay? So, guys, I'm enjoying this interview, right? Because this is somebody new. This is somebody that I didn't know a part of the DSA family until I met him on Sunday. And I'm just so interested and so intrigued with his story and how his life has changed and how he's encountering Dr. Sunday and his teaching was doing to him. I'm really intrigued and I want to go further. So, since you've been here, Temi,
okay.
In the last few days, what have you observed that is totally different from what you thought you would? You know, your perception previously before you actually encountered the reality. So just tell us a little bit more about it.
Okay. What I've encountered is like being in the house basically is more like being in a family. So I feel like everybody I see around me here is like my sister, and everybody, any guy or any ladies, mom. I feel like I have brothers and sisters around me, so which is a good thing. The messages pastors actually preaches every now and then. In the night we have some morning and evening sessions. It's just so amazing, being able to have somebody who is highly good in what he does and be able to share vision with us. Is actually basically what it tells me. I actually go back to my closet. I actually probably pray about it, have a strategy about it, and definitely must do something about it. So basically, most of the things he actually advises, he says inside the house here, actually I committed to it, So like being inside, it's more like I show my determination that I'm ready to step in it, in his full step. Dr. Sunday talks mostly about anything you must do, you must give 100% or you more than 100%. Otherwise, you don't really have to do that. So basically, just being around him, I get to think in a way that I've never thought about, or I just see myself being transformed gradually. And before I know it, I begin to make decisions in my mind that I'm ready to do what he actually, what he actually says. So basically, being in the house is more like, I just see myself, that my life has just changed, and basically, it shows that I'm committed to actually do what he says. Because there's no point actually, doctor actually saying things, or I getting inspired about the messages and not actually doing anything. There's no point at the end of the day. So that's my observation. So I feel like I'm in a family, and I feel like I'm ready to give 100%, in whatever thing I do. So those are my basic feelings I have.
No. Interesting. That's so interesting. I would also like to know what were your feelings before, because this is all new. This is all coming into a house of somebody that you've never met, but you've actually communicated with via email, and already feeling like you're part of the family. And you only arrived on Sunday, and today it's just Wednesday. You've spoken about how this has already even changed your life, your mentality, your thinking, you didn't put it in that word, but I think you have more faith in him, and you have more faith in yourself as well, and the things that you want to do. You said that you're now able to make decisions on the things that you want to do. I'm going to come back to that later, because I really do want to know those decisions and what you're going to do, maybe one or two of them, and I think other people would like to know as well. But the important one, I just want to contrast. I want to know how you were feeling or what you were anticipating in comparison to what you've now experienced. Yeah.
Yes. Before, I was actually anticipating just to fellowship with him, and just to probably just to have some personal experiences, just to have like a friendly relationship with him when I was coming. I was also coming to see if I could actually be part of his plans to go to Nigeria, to actually, have like a missionary work in Nigeria. So I was just coming with an open mind because I'm like an entrepreneur by nature. I can do whatever I really want to do. I can really fit into different things. So I was just coming with an open mind, just to come and get that energy, or get that just to experience a spiritual blessing, by coming, and hopefully just to build on other relationships I'm going to have with him, for the future, just to have a connection with him. So that was my anticipation for coming. And because I've always learned, sometimes I try to do things on my own, but I actually fail, and I don't get so far. So I'm like, why don't I just do something, something different by going to, just going to see a mentor. A lot of people will not do this in their lifetime, really. But I just actually took that step and just said, let me just go and meet him and have a connection with him. And so, which is actually now is a stepping stone to do other things. Basically, what religion actually tells us is to actually just to be confined, and just to not to do something new. I'm like, why? Understand? But it's always good to actually fulfill one's dream, because if you actually take a step towards your dream, you actually believe in yourself, and from then on you can actually do more things. It's very, very important to actually take a step towards your dream. Then you don't doubt yourself anymore. Yeah. So basically that was the reason why. And again, also I was also free. I had a free time to myself. I was not working, so I just said, let me just travel to Ukraine and have a beautiful time over there. So that was my journey and my expectation coming down here. So now I'm here right now. Well, after meeting him and listening to some of his words and everything, he was saying, then I was able to like, oh, tell me what you're gonna do for your life right now. I was able to to ask myself some questions. And what came to my mind was basically, although I want to make money, money is not my destination. So then I began to think, okay, what about, service, doing more wherever I am, just service to humanity, probably setting up a charity organization, probably, doing something for the less privileged. I've written a book actually, which was titled Self-Esteem. So probably I should release that book and write some other books. So these are the kind of things that were, going on in my mind after meeting him personally. So I hope to build on that and have a concrete plan before I go. So before I actually go. So like I said, I hope to have a concrete plan, and that plan, I think it should be probably centered on on a charity, on helping probably less privileged kids who've got accidents, or people who are really, really deprived, who have no parents or something like that. So I'm thinking towards a line of of giving back. That's what I really want to do. So yeah.
Wow. Wow. Did you guys get a quote from that? Money is not my destination. Did you get that quote? Because I certainly did. This is what happens when somebody could discover purpose, when they'll discover who they are and they're sure of it. Is an entrepreneur. Every entrepreneur wants to make a profit. It's usually money, but it's also developing things. But this person have moved on from just money, because he said, money is not my destination. I'm just so intrigued with his life and what he's saying in general, because I think that maybe we're not even hearing other people out there. They're not hearing exactly the things that he's saying in terms of humanity, what he wants to do now with humanity. engaging with less privileged people, setting up a charity. As an entrepreneur, setting up a charity is not usually the first option. So I think that there's now a mind shift in terms of what he wants to do, because he's assured he knows what he wants to do. But let's rewind, or should I say, let's rewind 1 minute. Rewind to saying, this is somebody that is sitting somewhere in his destination, wherever he came from, his home. And he thought, okay, I have set up businesses, I've started different things, but something always happened along the way. And then he identified that there's this man somewhere, this man called Dr. Sunday Adelaja. I think that what he's saying makes sense. I think that what he's saying resonates very well with me, and it's going through my heart. Why don't I contact him and share my ideas with him, and share my thoughts, share my pain, my business ideas, business plans with him, and see what happens. I think that takes a lot of courage, and I just want to encourage other people, because Temi seems like a very quiet person, and you're just, I don't know what view that you have, but the view that I have is that he's so quiet. But I also see boldness, because I see boldness, and I also see wisdom, because it takes a wise person to think, okay, I have all these ideas, this guy is speaking sense, I want to send this information to him, I want to connect with him, I want him to be my mentor, I want to get insight, and I want to get advice from him. And without being prompted at all by anybody, I didn't hear him saying that, oh, my pastor told me this, or my friend told me this. It was just by his own accord. And one thing he also mentioned was that we're confined. Maybe this is something that he's experienced, because his book is about esteem, that he said. So I think maybe this is what he's experienced. But whatever reason or whatever is confining you right now, hearing from somebody like Temi should be something that can liberate you, because I think that he's talking from living experience, from an experience of his life and what's happened to him, what the outcome of maybe being confined has been, or the outcome of esteem has been. So the book, I'm so looking forward to the book. I can't wait. You must publish that book. You must publish that book. And also, you mentioned how to engage with a mentor. I think this is really, really key. So engaging with a mentor is key into this. But finding a mentor that is right for you. You don't have to, the mentor doesn't have to be any prescription from anybody. Just take your own initiative and don't be confined. Don't let anybody confine you into anything. You're not in a box, okay? So it's all music to my ears, and I'm really, really impressed with what I'm hearing. As you're going, because we've already touched on it, I thought we might as well close on this already. What are you going to now go and do differently? You mentioned the charity. You mentioned humanity, which is related to charity. It might not be. It might be other things that you have in mind. You mentioned your book. So what are you going back with when you go back? What are you going to start doing differently? How are you going to replicate, or maybe replicate or duplicate, or in the sense of gratitude? Because I don't know if you know this, the highest form of gratitude of Dr. Sunday is reproducing the great things that you find in him. Okay. So reproducing that. So what you taking back with you, and how you going to make that visible? Because you spoke a lot about ideas and things that you want to do. Okay. How are you going to make that tangible that others would?
I would actually start. What I'm going to go with is number one. I'll go with Dr. Sunday's statement that whatever I do, I must make sure I do it 100%, or I don't even do it at all. I'm going back with that statement. And so what I'm going to do is, I'm going to release my book I wrote, and I'm going to write another books. Then I could call the books maybe Stepping Out or something like that. Just to write something about taking a leap, jumping. So I think I'm going to do that as well. And I'm also basically looking to, if I could, I'm looking to set a project regarding finances. So probably to actually maybe encourage people in Nigeria to push some people to becoming millionaires, or getting out of their job and being in their comforts, having businesses of their own. So I'm thinking along that line as well. So a lot of ideas are just coming into my mind, but I think writing, having like 3 books. I should have 3 books before the end of this year.
Oh.
I should be satisfied with that. I think I can do that. So then I can, because that will be a platform for me. So this book I've written next year, maybe stepping out, and other 1 book on finances. So that should be okay for this year. Then I can, look forward to what else I can do.
OMG. OMG. Guys, have you seen that? This is an author that haven't even published a book yet. And look at the life in him. Commitment to 3 books. 1 is Esteem, the second one is Stepping Out, and the third one will be a title yet unknown, but it's coming up by the end of this year. By the end of this year. Aren't we seeing Dr. Sunday replicated already? This is amazing. I'm so excited. I'm really excited right now because this is just empowering to hear from writing the book that is not published, that is sitting somewhere in your computer or maybe in your house, to I am going to publish not 1, not 2, but 3 by the end of this year. And we are already end of May, in June already. And this is boldness. This is affirmation. This is what happens when you connect with your, I don't like to use the word, maybe I should do, which is when it happens when you connect with your purpose. I almost said destiny, but that is just been, it's been modeled in my head, the word destiny, connecting with destiny, but connecting with your purpose. So I'm so proud right now. I'm so impressed. And I would ask what you're going to do with DSA family, because you've been so aloof, so out of it. I want to know what you are going to do with DSA family, so that you can come, because you said it yourself, coming here, staying in this house is like being in a family context. But it doesn't have to stop here. It doesn't have to stop here in Ukraine. You're part of DSA family already, but a lot of us don't know you. So what are you going to do in terms of that?
DSA, I'm very, very open to what I'm going to do. In my own little way, basically, number 1, I would come for the next HMT, and I will stay after HMT for like a week, and just familiarize myself with everyone, and get into the nitty-gritty of things. So basically, just for instance, I can help, let's say in the IT area, just to review something, as long as I show some care and commitment in whatever project is being run in the family, that would be awesome. And I'm thinking about that, what I'm going to do. But basically, just to get involved in the family, it's number 1. It would help the family so far. And also, like in the UK, there are lots of DSA people interested in DSA, so I can actually connect them to other members I've met that are in UK that I met during my stay here. So I will just see how I can connect people together. And like, okay, if people talk about DSA, I could put on my Facebook walls, everything about DSA. So people can ask me questions about DSA. So. I would just promote the DSA basically.
Did you see DSA COVID? You didn't even know there was an interview. It's like, oh, and then he went off, and it's like, oh, and then we're back. That's him, free. Everybody's free. He's also free. So it's been an amazing interview. So Mr. Longe, or should I say, Mr. Temi Longe, Honorable Mr. Temi Longe. He's still got one more thing to say, so I'm going to let him say it, because we always have our guests end the program for us by saying the last word. But he said in terms of DSA family, he's going to get more involved. He's going to connect with the ones in London because that's where he resides at the moment. So he's going to connect with them, and others that want to connect that already are not connecting, he's going to bring them together. And he's going to use his skills and expertise to support DSA, to support the platforms, to engage other people around the world. So I'm really impressed with that. If you're not, well, I am, okay? I'm so impressed. So guys, I am going to ask Mr. Honorable Temi Longe to have the last words, because I think that he's got a lot to say, and we're running out of time, but we've still got time for him. We're never in a hurry here. So let's go.
I'll end by saying we should not look down on ourselves. We can be whatever we want to be. We can be whatever we want to be. We can be whatever we want to be. We should not look down on ourselves. We should not allow anything going on around us limit us, and we should always believe in ourselves. And whatever we want to do would always actually come out of us, even though we don't need to know how. We just need to believe in ourselves and do whatever we need to do. And then just have a path, have a strategy, just become committed to what you're doing, and you will actually get to your destination. Thank you.
Nidai, I don't need to say anymore. I don't need to say anymore. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much for the wisdom, knowledge, and also the freedom to share your experience with us. I'm sure somebody who out there will benefit, and I thank you, our viewers, the audience, that makes me love doing this. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. And I'll see you again very soon. I'm coming back with another interview. Mwah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.